Curated.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Hi, Mary Westring. She has been the coordinator of the War Salon 15 years,
I think maybe.
something like that.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think about 15 years.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
And she has been very wonderful for many, many years. So we value you very much. And this is the 16th annual Salon show. Now, how do you assess the show? By looking at the members. We have 76 members here this year.
Well, I can tell you that when I started out, the quality did not come up to the standards that it has grown every single year, and it's because of the encouragement that you give the people, the artists, that you recognize potential in people and you nurture them and mentor them, and I've seen them grow, and that's been very, very exciting to see that kind of growth in artists so many artists are discouraged and are made to feel unworthy, and you do the opposite, and that's a strength that you have.
Well, that was very nice of you to say so. But indeed, when you mix with excellent artworks and then a little bit younger ones, they are inspired. So they learn something what they have seen. So at the same time, I do encourage too. And you've been so wonderful, and I thank you very much. Okay, about your work this time. She's an excellent drawer, and you can tell.
Do you want me to talk about this work? These are portraits that I did after visiting a rehabilitation camp in Uganda for former child soldiers who had escaped from the Lord's Resistance Army. And I was struck by the sadness, what they'd experienced. Many of them in captivity for years, kidnapped when they're 9, and enslaved. But 10 years later, I did portraits of former child soldiers who we have sent to school, and they were smiling portraits. So I've been marking their progress, and they're amazing.
Thank you.
Next one is Julie Joy Sailboat, and she is one of the rare sculptors as a member of the Salon show, and she's been also influential figures for everybody. They are inspired. So would you like to say something about the War Center?
About the War Center.
How many years you have?
Let's see, how many years have I been here, Yuko? I think about 6 years, right? Since I was fortunate enough to move to the area.
Yes.
And luckily I moved here and I was right near the War Center. So that was definite perk to Williamsburg. Yes, it was a feather in Williamsburg cap, being able to be a part of the War Center. And it's wonderful. I've met a lot of interesting people, artists and art appreciators. And Yuko is so welcoming and encouraging to so many people that I think a lot of artists have, become much stronger here and have really grown. And we've kind of started our own community. A lot of us now know each other just from being a part of the WA. So we have our own little WA family here, and it's always a wonderful experience to be part of. And I'm very fortunate to be part of it. Yes. And this is my sculpture called Harmony, and it's about two pieces interacting with one another in a joyous, uplifting kind of way. It's actually the same form in two different positions, and it is... Yes, the material is... This is actually a poster kind of material, what they use for signage. It's called AZAC. and I painted it with acrylic, giving it a texture, so there's a little more depth to it. And I painted it white just so it's pure form and purity. And I'm hoping that there's some optimism about people interacting with one another wherever they may be. Whether it's people or, I mean, it's anything that's like uplifting, dancing, flying, interacting. One is resting on the other. And yeah, I've used the positive and negative space also. Yes, so that's pretty much my piece.
So this young lady became a member of the Salon for the first time. We welcome you. And she exhibited in the New Academy show previously, and I spotted her talent. So I told her, would you like to be a member of the Salon? And we bridge between old and young, and she presents young generation. So please say your name.
Alaina Dodelson. Oh.
So how would you like this show for the first time?
I think it's really great. It's a lot of different kinds of art, different schools of thought, it looks like, all merged into one room, so it's nice. Yeah.
Tell us about your piece.
I have this painting, and then there's a smaller one over there. I guess I'm mostly trying to figure out what it means to be a painter today and an abstract painter without necessarily like showing so much reverence for abstract expressionism, but how can you reclaim that? So kind of merging like kind of self-awareness of my own medium, but also like reverence for the formal qualities of it at the same time, and trying to find some sort of balance through humor and lack of self-seriousness, but also like formal questions of tension and color and all of that. Trying to find out how that has a place in the world at large, I guess. Yeah.
Hello, this is Larry Scatula, and he has been a member for how many years?
I would say at least 15.
15?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
at least 15 years. About 15 years, yeah. Okay, the WAS Center is a very good venue for people like me to show my work. They accept all kinds of work, as you could see. And it's been a good experience for me for the past 15 years. My wife and I both are members. She's a photographer, Susan Jacobs. And hopefully we'll get a good turnout tonight and maybe sell some artwork. That would be wonderful. Okay.
Here she is. She is, what would you say, Detroit's artist, shall I say? How do you define your art? Detroit or found object?
Yes,
Yeah.
I guess, you know what, I don't really care what the word is, it doesn't matter. I just use anything at my disposal, anything I want. I don't care if I found it or I bought it, I use everything.
Yeah. But she is very remarkable. Her creation is full of imagination. Whatever she found, she makes her art. There is one here, you can tell the story.
This piece is called Neptune. It's about the state of our oceans. And basically, the fish was found as a trophy fish on the streets of Brooklyn, taken off its board on the back. And I cast a face of Neptune with trash. And his hair is completely made out of plastic, like all the crap that's in our oceans. So basically the entire fish except for the face is embedded with garbage, and the base has a little humor being, something being sunk down by cement shoes kind of reference there. So he's riding the fish, but he is also the fish. And it's my thought on how Neptune would feel if he was here and seeing what we've done to our oceans. So, thank you.
I'm a hard hangout.
And so Tomek Bogaki, shall I say abstract expressionist artist, you've been here for how long?
in America for 20 years.
And the War Center.
I think it's like 5, 6 years or even more. Yeah.
He is a multi-talented artist, not only painting, but he does also illustrations. And then recently he started working as a muralist. So, main interest of your subject matter. Would you like to say something? And also you can mention, he's been very, very helpful for installation. Each time when we have show, he comes to installate. So, I thank you very much. Would you like to say something?
Something about painting? Painting is also, this kind of painting is also a result of some work on the walls. When I work with very big walls, it gives me this possibility to work with different tools and different techniques. So this abstract painting is part of this. If you can imagine that this small painting is kind of project for a huge wall. And I do also some other paintings which are more with people, with faces, portraits, but mostly they are abstract paintings. Thank you.
Speak of the devil.
And then I didn't competition, and I won some, prize, right? And they give you a reward, and the wife here.
Okay, Renée Weidenberg, and she is mainly a glass artist, glass sculptor, shall I say, sculptor. And how long have you been a member?
Of what?
Mm-hmm.
It's about a dozen years now or more. Yes.
Always she creates amazing melting glasses. And you can tell us about how would you like the Bar Center. As you know, how things are growing nowadays. And you can tell us.
The Wa Center has a lot of diverse artists, and which is really great because different people can exhibit the different types of art here. Such my own. I'm a glass artist. This is Phoenix. This is actually my second sculpture since Sandy. And to me, this symbolizes the phoenix coming out of the ashes, coming out of the ashes of Sandy, and being able to create again. And I'm grateful for the Wa Center for allowing me to exhibit all types of art that I do, which is sculptures and mobiles, and Yuko for the great support of all us artists here at Wa Center.
Okay, now I understand. This is something to do with Sandy. Yeah, I see that. It's beautiful. On the contrary from the previous one. Yeah, good. Okay, all right. This one is a Joel Simpson, and he has been a member of the Wa Center many years. And
Since at least 2004.
Oh, really? For over
2014.
11 years. And he is an outstanding photographer. As you can see, in front of those two pieces that he made a special trip for 10 weeks and 2 hours. There is a special slide presentation.
That's right.
In February.
Did you do that on the 21st?
Yeah. No, February 15th.
15th.
Yes.
15th. Very good.
So you can tell us how would you like the Bar Salon show every year? Has it increased, and then has it improved a lot since you became a member?
The membership.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, looking at this show, I see very high quality works. The wonderful thing about this show is its diversity. Many different styles. We really get a sense of the range in the artistic community. which is largely Brooklyn, but not entirely Brooklyn. I mean, obviously, I'm from New Jersey, right? So, so I'm very, very proud to be a part of this, and I brag about it to all kinds of people in New Jersey. And they say, "What?" I say, "That's right." So anyway, the two images that I chose are from my visit to Varanasi, India, which was part of a 10-week tour. What you're looking at here is a man painting a religious statue in this religious statue manufacturing plant, which was right near the Ganges. And actually, I had seen a photograph from this place in a group of travel photos from Varanasi by the great photojournalist Daniel Barahulak, who works for the New York Times and who has a show now in Beacon, New York at the Fovea Gallery. And so I was determined to find the place, and so I researched it and came up with nothing. But on my first day, taking a paddle up and down the Ganges, as soon as I got out of the Ghat area and back into the city streets, it smacked me in the head. It was right there. I thought, this is the place. So I went in and got my own photographs, of which this was the most interesting, totally different from what Daniel Barahulak got. And people who are more versed in the Hindu religion will be able to name these gods and goddesses. Well, we can see Hanuman here, obviously. This is the goddess who is celebrated at the Navratri festival in September. And he's painting. He's turning these rather pale molds into living deities. Now, the other photograph I chose to include is was actually shot from an auto rickshaw, which was our main mode of transportation through Varanasi, which is a motor scooter hooked up to a trailer with one upholstered bench and a canopy, and it's open on both sides. So if you put your camera at a high enough shutter speed, you can capture all kinds of things that go by. And I probably took about 2,000 photographs from out of the auto rickshaw, and of that I came up with about 20 that are really good, and this is probably the best one. And what you're seeing here, I mean, the irony of this photograph is that you see this presumably wise Hindu man, who knows if he's a holy man, a sadhu or not, but he has a tika on his forehead, and he has beads, and he's sitting in a lotus position, and he's instructing this young man, possibly his relative, possibly his offspring, who's wearing a Spider-Man backpack. And the whole thing, obviously his shop, is surrounded by what they call in India snacks, what we call in this country junk food. So it's a lot of cultures coming together, and of course there's old India in the setting, which you see. So I love that photograph. I will be giving a slideshow from the entire 10-week trip on February 15th here at the WA Center. I believe it's at 3 o'clock. It's a slideshow that lasts approximately 2 hours, and I'll be showing 1,500 slides, and guess what? You can see 1,500 slides in 2 hours. And I hope that all of you will come and see it. It was a great trip, and this is a condensation of 40,000 images. Hope you'll be there. Joel Simpson, thanks a lot.
This is Susan Jacobs, and she has been a member for a long, long time. And she's an outstanding photographer, as you can see. She used to do black and white, and then this happened to be colorful one. But there's a mystery to it. She can explain to you, and also you can tell me how you enjoyed the WA Salon Art Club members show.
First of all, I think it's a very beautiful show, as usual, Yuko. You're quite the magician when it comes to putting together a beautiful show with whatever you have at hand. These images are from a series that I call Tropicals Ascending and Tropicals in Decline. They are close-up images of leaves of a red banana plant which I grow in my backyard in downtown Brooklyn. They're very frost sensitive, so I let them die each year and then replant them the following spring. These photographs were taken in late November and in December of last year. So the leaves had already been killed by frost, and they start to collapse in on themselves, and they develop all those wonderful folds and dimensions as they do that. And then I photograph them in very low light, which accounts for the very saturated color and in particular the blue overlay.
Wondering if one of these could be open for next year.
Okay, next one is Carmen Frank, and she is multi-talented artist. Yes, and then not only the printmaker, but she also makes three-dimensional pieces, which is hung in the other room. And how long have you been a member of the Salon?
From the center here, maybe 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, I don't know exactly, but for me, I feel like forever.
Yes. How do you enjoy it as a member of the club?
I enjoy really very much, and I always surprised for the quality of the shows. And I think that year and year is improving more and more. So I'm really very glad to be part of the show. Really nice.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is
When did you do that?
it's an etching. It's a metal plate that I color by hand, and I call soulscape because I think that any piece is part of the soul of the artist, showing different things, the darkness, the light, so each piece for me is part of myself in a different way.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, next, thank you. Okay, so next one is Carmen Profido. And yes, and she is a very unique, well, we have so many unique talents, but she's one of those who paints also, but her strength is the stitches. So could you explain to us what you do and how would you like the Salon show?
Well, I'm very grateful to Yuko Nii because she's always on my back. I'm one of those artists who has too many things in my head and I don't do what I'm supposed to do. My pieces are, this is Maori, and it represents like a tribe from New Zealand. They had tattoos all over the face, and you can see they have tattoo, but it's a little bit different because instead of having the eye directly on the face, the eye sticks out. It was supposed to be flowers, but that's what it turned into. It's Maori from New Zealand. And this one is called Sailboat, and the man is looking, he wants to see the sailboats, but the sailboats are all in the back of him, and someone brings a set of sailboats into his hand, so that he can see the sailboats as they're going out. And it takes a long time to finish one of these pictures and a lot of combinations from different colors, what I have left. So I hope the people enjoy it and see the amount of work that it takes to complete one picture. The small ones take from 3 to 4 months. The bigger ones, which I don't have any here, is from 5, 6, or 7 months. And I love it because it's a form of therapy, psychotherapy, meditation, and the colors are vibrant because they show my roots from the island full of color of Puerto Rico. Thank you.
Yes, so now next one is Lori Russell, and then she can explain to you about her works, and which is again very unusual. And here it is. You use plastic bag. Would you like to explain to us, and then how do you enjoy the Salon show? There and here.
Okay, I use plastic bags that are given to me by friends or that I've accumulated in my kitchen. I stretch burlap over stretchers to form a background, and then I use yarn to sew them on. They're all, the bags are sewn on, and I just create my designs and draw them on the backing, and then fit the plastic bags around the...
So how do you make those colors? You use plastic bags, but how do you do it? Over there too, and here.
Okay, the colors are all what the plastic bags are. They come in many different colors, and if you save them carefully, you find that they are very many. There's also, you can manipulate the color with using the transparency of the plastic bags. You could put different ones underneath to make it darker or lighter, and you can put other scraps of bags over to vary the tones. But it's all of it is the color of the plastic bag. There's no paint or other materials involved. So.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, next one. In front of you. Okay, the next artist. No, okay. Next artist is Tom Hooper, and then he is again excellent draftsman, as you can see, and imagination stretches so far beyond what we can conceive. So Tom Hooper, how long have you been a member of the Bar?
I don't know. How long have I been a member?
I wonder. I don't
16
remember.
years?
Something like that.
No.
Way back.
Maybe 10.
Is that right? Anyhow,
10, yeah.
he has.
Wall's only been around 16 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't been here since the beginning, but you have.
But you also.
You've been here from the very beginning.
Of course.
You are the beginning. And
I kind
the
of
end.
forget.
It's like infinity.
But anyhow, Tom Hooper is one of the kindest people. He always comes to install, help installation. So we always thank you for your help, and then someone else too.
More than happy to do that.
Yes, okay. Now you can tell something about your work.
Oh, I can. Well, this is my piece here. I do my work while I'm at my day job, and this particular work was done while I was working on the Dr. Oz show. And of course, I owe everything to Terrence Lindell, who's speaking right now, and we'll continue from there.
Here she's hiding behind a sculpture. Here she is, the beautiful Yuko Nii. And I don't have to tell you about all of the awards anymore. Yes, Yuko Nii, clap, everybody clap. I don't have to tell you anymore about the awards she's won. You've heard it now for 16 years, including today. So I just want to say this is a wonderful show. Next year is the 17th annual, and a very important year for us because it's our 20th year of the Williamsburg Art and Historical Center. We're going to do wonderful things. And but without further ado, I'm going to introduce Yuko, and she can tell you a little bit. And then we're going to introduce Joel Simpson, who's going to talk about his event coming up in honor of the Salon. So, Yuko, you want to step forward? Yeah, I'll give her a second or two. We're standing in front of Bienvenido's painting, and actually he's produced a book called Satanic Verses over there on his table. And you can page through that book. It's quite famous already. It's controversial too. So Yuko is standing there. Is she coming up? Yuko? Here she is. Give a big hand for Yuko.
Thank you very much, everybody. And it was snowing last night, but now it started melting, but still it's nuisance to come over here. And thank you for a wonderful show that you participated to make this happen. Artists of 76 members this year made this colorful show. And thank you again and again. And I'd like to also mention those who helped, volunteers. To begin with, Mary Westring, please come. She's the coordinator of the War Salon for many, many years. Is Mary here? Okay. And also Orin Buck, he is taking video today on my left side. And thank you very much. Orin Buck is a graphic designer, video artist, as well as his video is being shown here. And as well as he is a, graphic artist, and what did I say? Video artist, and one more. Anyhow, and then Tasneem, he takes photo during the opening. So Tasneem Hassad, he is here. And without many volunteers, this couldn't have been happened. And so those who help us installations, I jot down all the names, but Robert Bassard, who left here already, and Thomas Bogart, he left here already, he was here, as well as Bienvenido, and yeah, he is right here in front of Bien's painting. I'm talking to you. And Frank Grafsicki, is he here? No, he is from Connecticut, maybe he couldn't make it. Another one is Glenn Goodenough. Glenn is right here, and they are the ones who came to help installation, and then they did a wonderful job. Thank you very much. Okay. Then I'd like to thank my assistant, Alaina. Alaina, won't you come here? Alaina, and another assistant, Richard Sanchez. And they work very hard. Thank you very much. And concession man, usually Richard helps concession, today he does too. And today we have a special guest artist, not a guest, but special new artist, I would say, Gabe Thoreau. He's serving wine and beer behind the concession. And he is a ceramist. You can see there the ceramics put the lights on near the door. And there's another ceramic pot sitting right there. So thank you for the help.
According to my agreement with Yuko, it's going to be at 3 o'clock on Sunday, February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day. This is such a great picture. What it's like to be up here, right? I got it now. All right, you're all in. Now, obviously, you're all taking us, all the artists here are taking us on spiritual and aesthetic journeys to realms far beyond the real world. I restricted myself to the real world. But I found some pretty interesting things. My traveling companion and I went to 12 countries in 10 weeks. And if you've ever thought of traveling to Cappadocia in Turkey, to Petra in Jordan, and the desert down there, we went to Nairobi, Madagascar, India, Varanasi, and Khajuraho with the erotic carvings that built the airport. Nepal, Tibet, overland in Tibet, then the 42-hour sky train from Lhasa to Beijing, and flying up to Ulaanbaatar and flying down to the Gobi Desert and visiting the Gobi Desert for 3 days, and then flying to Vietnam, which was fabulous, and then 2 days in Angkor Wat, back to Vietnam, and then Japan and home. So we're going to do all of this in about 2 hours, right? So you're not going to be dizzy, don't worry. And it's a lot of fun, and I'll also talk about how to travel light, how to travel in these countries on a budget. And by the way, the New York Times travel fair is going on at the Javits Center as we speak. And there they'll try to sell you tours for like $5,000, and we can show you how to do it for like $500. Anyway, but come to the slideshow, and I'll take questions, and we'll talk about traveling light and cheap and seeing great things. That's February 15th at 3 o'clock. Thank you.
Carol Barrow and Margaux Meade, and let's see. Yeah, could you please come? And they are the one, and one more, Carol Schuster, where is she? She's right there. Yes. The 3 people are very kind to sit at the receptionist to receive artworks, and they're well organized, who paid what and who brought resume statement and so on. So without those people, we couldn't have done a great job either. So everybody contributed to help us, and thank you very, very much. And enjoy the show, and this continues until February 22nd. And we are going to have a great traditional potluck party. So you're going to bring your favorite dishes, and we are going to share with everybody. And that will be 6:30 is a cocktail. And that's the day that you're coming to pick up your works. And I'll be very sad when the show is out of the sight, but we will look for another year. But to celebrate the end of the show, we are going to have a wonderful, usually traditional potluck party. So please join us. Thank you. We are going to take a photograph, everybody who are here. So I want you to stand up in front of that painting or big wall. There. Okay, thank you.
Make sure you can see every face. Here we go. Orin, get back. Did you get it? Move back and see. Everybody's there. Goes it all the way down.
Which camera?
More artists doing weigh-ins. Yeah.
Okay, guys, here. 1, 2, 3. Cheese. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3. Cheese. Okay, that's right.
Next camera.
Thank you.
You never turn green. Okay. But I think it's an accident. That's like it just didn't turn green.
This fish looks like it's ready to swim. Yeah, this is very clean.
Okay, so here you are, and then this is a Japanese artist, and he just became a new member.
Yes.
Yeah, his name is Kenichi
Nakajima, yes.
Yes. You could tell us, you have been participating in quite a few shows, but this is your first show. How would you like this show? Do you like it very much?
Yes, I like it very much. Yeah.
You can tell.
About my work?
Yes.
In this time, I repaint my work. I use another kind of materials. For example, plastic and cardboard. And I wanted to make interesting, how to say, texture. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to make more, how to say, mixed media works. Yeah.
He is a wonderful sculptor also. When he had Grand Harvest Show and then Spring Fringe, he participated. He won honorable award. So that was very nice, which is so different from this one. So do you feel you're comfortable with sculpture or painting?
Both, yeah. Yeah, sometimes I make sculpture, sometimes I make painting or art performance. Yeah, yeah, when I want to express something, how to say, it's difficult, but anyway, yes.
Thank you very much. Good luck to you. Thank you. So here you are. So Bienvenido Banez, and he is one of the Filipino artists. And what can I explain to you about your art? You can explain to us much better than I can, but he is extraordinarily talented artist, painter. How would you like your Salon show? Every year you participate.
One thing reason I like Salon every part of these activities. Since 2003, I found Salon with a brave destiny. I'm very fortunate with Master Terrence Lindell and you, Yuko Nii. And this is my privilege to show the world, or you gave me enlightenment about that's how Satan gave color to the world. Without this presence of authority from God's prophecy, that's my own dedicated this painting to one museum. And thanks for everybody and those who are inspired my painting about this. We live, the great revelation is coming, and that's my point of view. That we are living the prophecy, 60s art world or Surreal Magedon art world. That's my concept. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bien. And he's been always helpful too for installations. Anytime when I need him, he comes to help us. Okay, thank you. So next one is another international artist. He's from Russia, and he's a multi-talented artist. And he has 2 statues here. So could you please tell, he became a member this year, new member. Welcome to the Salon member. You can please explain to us.
Well, here I exhibited sculpture of Kazuo Hashimoto. Kazuo Hashimoto is a very famous American-Japanese inventor who worked in California. And I got a telephone call from New Jersey Institute of Technology to execute his bust. Unfortunately, at this time, Kazuo Hashimoto was in a hospital in Tokyo. He had a cancer. And I have to do his bust from photographs of his youth, his childhood, then when he was married, then he was a student of New Jersey Institute of Technology, and then when he was graduated from NJIT, and as a grown man, so photographs were very, very small, and it was very difficult to capture his likeness. So I spent time to find out how he looks like, how his profile looks like. I didn't have any good photographs of him. And it just happened that almost at the end of the work, his partner, Daniel Henderson, he came over, he flew from California and stopped at my apartment, and about half an hour later I finished the sculpture with the verbal help of Daniel Henderson. Daniel Henderson was so possessed with my sculpture, so he became sculptor on his own. But because he was an inventor, he started to use technology to do his sculptures. And he had incredibly interesting exhibition, and right now I think his work is still located in NGIT, but it's a three-dimensional equipment that he used to execute his sculptures in marble, in granite, and metal. Okay, so it's interesting how sculpture of Kazuo Hashimoto influenced an inventor to become a sculptor as well. And another sculpture which I have here is a sculpture of my son, Alex Whitman Gurevich. He was 2 years old and he was running like crazy around. As you can understand, I didn't do his work, his bust from photographs. I was observing the way that he was running around and painting and playing, and this is how I sculpted his bust. Both busts are exhibited here at this moment. They are plaster work. Actually, Alex's work is a hydrocal, which is slightly harder than plaster. But Kazuo Hashimoto is painted like a bronze sculpture, but his bust is exhibited in NGIT right near the library. So if anybody wants to look at his work, at his bust, it's NGIT. Kazuo Hashimoto was a very generous man. He donated $1 million to NGIT to build Hall of Fame. And it's interesting that during the competition for the installation of the sculpture in the Hall of Fame, I won first place, but unfortunately my sculpture didn't withhold the driving process. It fell apart. So that's the story about Kazuo Hashimoto and my sculpture of Alex, and I appreciate Yuko for letting me exhibit this work in her center. Thank you very much.
The next one is Margaux Meade, and she has been a member. You have been a member how long? Long time.
A long time, but I don't remember. It must be 5, 6 more. I don't know.
Time went so fast.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
okay.
It's a long time.
That's right. She is always kind enough to sit as a receptionist together with Carol Barlow. We are going to have an interview with her also. So could you please tell us something about your work, and then how would you enjoy being a member of the Wa Salon?
Well, my work is about global warming. The painting is an atmospheric quality first that I work with, and then I start to break that with a grid, and the grid is symbolic of the systems of the universe and Earth, so that if you change or disturb one square, let's say here, it affects all others. And that's the idea of the grid. And over that are placed the figures, mankind, womankind, struggling to find a way to solve this problem of the destruction of Earth. And that's basically it. I don't remember how long I've been a member of the WA, but I always join this show, the Salon show, and because I think the art and the people involved with it are just wonderful. And Yuko is a terrific individual who has a wonderful eye to hang a show and to organize a show. That's it.
Next one is Brenna, and then she specializes in grass field. How would you say grass artwork? How would you say, yes, anyhow, yeah. And then she continued to produce very creative pieces. So please tell us how long you have been a member and how you became a member. As I remember that, yeah.
I can never forget it. Was quite some time ago. I have very strong, vivid memories of my first show here at Williamsburg on Historical Center, because Yuko, many, many years ago, was kind enough to give me my first one-woman show. And there's nothing like your first one-woman show for an artist. Nothing since then I've had about 7 other one-woman shows. I've had them all over America. But there's really something special about your first one-woman show. It was also around this time of the year, was actually in December. There was the blizzard from hell was going on outside. And 300 people showed up that night. And the blizzard was really bad. You couldn't even see right in front of you. But Yuko was kind enough to believe in me enough. And she gave me a space in a small gallery here. And that was the beginning in about 2004 of me showing at Williamsburg Art and Historical Center. Since that time, I've participated in many of the Salon shows. My name is Beryl Brenner, by the way. I do 2 kinds of art. The work we're looking at is fused glass, and I also do mixed media with fused glass. So depending on what the topic of the show is, that's what I submit to Yuko to be displayed. So very often in the last few years I've showed a lot of the mixed media stuff, and I've even showed it here for the recent paperwork show. But Terry on occasion looks at me and he says, "When are you going to show the glass again?" So I thought, let me show some of the glass for this show. Now these 2 pieces are fused glass pieces. They're fired in a kiln, special fused glass, bullseye glass from Portland, Oregon. And they're fired in a kiln at about 425 degrees. And fused means glass fuses into other glass. So that's what we're looking at. They're both actually very different pieces. The one I'm holding uses a lot of coral glass, but in the center you'll see a little bit of what they call dichro glass. And it's kind of flashy stuff. It's also slumped. The piece is slumped so that it's not a flat piece. And it changes. This is called the Coral Seas. And it kind of looks like what under the water would look like if you were looking for coral. So it's kind of got a faded look to it, and that's this piece here. The other piece that I'm showing for this show is completely different. It's completely different. It's much more glossy, and it's got a little bit of dichro glass as well. It's all fused glass. Once again, bullseye glass from Portland, Oregon. And this is called In the House of the Holy. And it's really a very spiritual piece. It's got some, which I guess you'd call it Judaica. There's some Jewish stars here. There's almost fringes like a prayer shawl. And it's more of an internal piece. The first piece was external. What does external environment look like? The second piece is what does internal or spiritual environment look like? And that's the 2 things that we go back and forth with as artists. We respond to our external environment, and we're sensitive to that, and that impacts on our internal environment or our spiritual environment. And likewise, the reverse happens as well. Our internal environment impacts on our external environment. How do we project ourselves to people? How do we interact with people? All of this is a dance between these 2 energies. And really, in a sense, the pieces I'm showing demonstrates the dance. So,
yeah. When I looked at her piece, that was all heart. You made the glass pieces with all heart. And then she has been teaching veterans for many years. And so her concept is to love, and that matches to the War Center. It was a most moving glass-fused artworks, nothing but heart. Thank you so much for the wonderful.
Thank you for letting me show in your wonderful gallery. It means a lot to me. And our friendship means a lot to me, too. It's been a long, old friendship. It means an awful lot to me.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, this is, Drew Miller. Maillard.
Maillard.
Maillard. Well, my goodness. I have known him long enough, but I couldn't pronounce your name. I'm so sorry.
That's fine.
Now, this time, you have a very unique art piece that you created. And you've been a member of the Salon. Are you enjoying it?
I am enjoying it thoroughly. Terrence Lindell, I was a huge, well, he was a great influence on me when I was a kid. I remember seeing his work on the cover of Creepy and like eerie comic books, and he's absolutely fantastic. So when I found out that he was here, I came and spoke to him. He is absolutely fantastic and has been a huge encouragement to me always. And like you're going to edit out all the ers and ums, right? I normally or used to mostly work in black and white or black ink on top of watercolor, but seeing Bienvenido's artwork, I've kind of gotten more psychedelic and colorful, and I'm trying to use more color in my artwork, and I think it's coming out pretty well. Like the weave projects are kind of a thing that came out of that, but like that's mostly about color and the way that comes off. So I'm not exactly sure what else to say about that. So I'll give it back to Yuko.
Okay, interestingly enough, so Bienvenido influenced him very much, but still he has his own signature, which is different from Bien, of course. And then very interesting to hear that you were influenced by Terrence Lindell's illustration many years ago.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Terrence is fantastic.
Yes, I think I remember that. It slipped from my mind. So
I actually had a magazine with Terrence's work in that I brought in to have him sign, because I grew up in a comic book culture. So you got to get the signature.
Ah, that's it. Well, there's another piece, but
the Weave project, yeah.
Briefly.
So this actually came about because I was looking at some Southeast Asian artwork that was painted on mats. Can you point? Oh, okay. The Weave project. Did you get the beer in there?
Yes, I did.
And I thought that it was a great idea that they had painted on like particular reeds and then weave them together, but then upon closer inspection I realized that they had just painted on the mat that was already woven. So I decided that I was going to paint two faces and weave them together, and this is the third one, so it's kind of more abstract than the first two. So the colors really work well, and this was kind of surprising as I was putting it together. I thought it wasn't going to be very good, but it came out a lot better than I had thought, because mostly the colors work well and compositionally it kind of really came off. So that's a pleasant surprise.
So this is Ellen Mandelbaum, and she is a wonderful stained glass artist. But this time she submitted watercolor, and she does oil paintings. And I went to see the one-man show just recently. She exhibited 1960s on remarkable works, and she was far advanced. She was far advanced artist back then. Yes. So how long you have been a member of the Salon?
Since last year, just last year.
That's a new one, relatively. Okay. How would you enjoy the Salon membership? how would you enjoy the War Salon show?
I like it very much. There's some pieces that I particularly like. Some I've seen some things by the artists before, and I feel I'm getting to know them, which I like very much. Also enjoyed talking to people, to other artists here. It's very nice.
Yeah. Okay. Would you like to say something?
Sure. I realize this almost looks like a window, and for me in stained glass, windows are very important. So I'd probably sketch that first. This is called Mystic Valley. My watercolors are made on site. When I see something beautiful, I try to get it. Sometimes I do 2 or 3 watercolors in one sitting because I see it more and more clearly.
So the next artist is a painter, whose name is Caroline Absher.
A lot of people get it messed up.
That's right. Absher, she is still a student of Pratt Institute, and she's going to graduate very soon. Congratulations.
Next year.
Yes. So you became a member of the War Salon since last year, and how are you enjoying the membership?
I enjoy the membership so much because it enables you to meet so many people and like give your card out and really have a connection and have a conversation with these people about their work and their medium and their trajectory and their path in the art world, and just it's a very contemporary scene and a lot of young new faces that I've gotten to really appreciate. I've become really good friends with a lot of people that I've met here, so I would say that it's been a really amazing opportunity.
All the best to you. This is abstract painting, and then you have shown figurative paintings. And which one would you prefer?
So right now this is out of my comfort zone, but I think the most important part about being an artist is always challenging yourself. And I had only done figurative painting for so long, and all my life it was just either a figure within a landscape, a figure within some architectural space, or it was always surrounded by something, the figure and an atmosphere. And so I realized that I was just getting bored, and so I tried out this total abstraction inspired by Cicely Brown, in my top 5 favorite contemporary artists of the time. And I just went for it, and I had so much fun painting this. Probably more fun than I've ever had painting. So it was just total abstraction. I actually hid a few figures. It's always more fun when I try to hide certain aspects for myself. So maybe this typical viewer wouldn't see what I've hidden within this abstraction, but I can. So it was really fun for me.
And then this is a new member of the War Salon Art Club. Welcome to be a member. And he exhibited in the paperwork show before, twice, part 1, part 2. And he was very helpful for the installation. Thank you very much. Wonderful fellow to have welcome. So now this time, instead of sculpture, you have presented the photograph. Very interesting concept. Could you please explain to us your work?
Sure.
Briefly.
Very good. Yeah. Actually, this I consider virtual sculpture. It's actually individual elements photographed and composed in Photoshop to have a sculptural form. I have several images along this line. So in this case, I created the dragonfly, the lights, the steel work, and it's a single element. And I created an apparatus to index and for multiple images, and then it's stripped together in Photoshop. I have several on these lines. In this case, I chose the dragonfly. I always had a fascination with them. And as a modest homage to Tiffany, as you might notice, the Tiffany lamp motif, I like to use twigs and organic forms found in nature in my work. I look at it as kind of improving on nature to glean elements and incorporate them in my work. I find that the incandescent light bulbs is kind of a charming technical throwback to another time. I use a palette of tonalities and detail to render an image in the tradition of photography. So you'll see enhanced tonalities, details, and color. So the lights are kind of deliberate. I like the glow. They're kind of like candles. This would be one of the more mystical style images, mostly. I always, and for this series, it's a sculptural. It's a goal to have a sculptural quality. But very good.
Okay, here comes Ayako Bando. Okay, Ayako-san, how long you have been a member of the Wa Salon?
Like 4 or 5 years ago. Yes.
So she is a very talented painter, of course. And then this time you have abstract expressionistic paintings right there. When did you start working on this?
This is last winter. Yeah, I was working. Yeah. And then I finished it like December. Last December? Yeah. Yeah. It's a very recent work. Yeah.
You also work with print, monoprint and print. What media do you enjoy most? Painting? Printing?
Both.
Uh-huh.
Usually I do paint. Yeah, more than print. Yeah, but I really enjoy print also. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Actually, she can create a very abstract ideas into abstract paintings. Remarkable, very sensitive artist. And thank you very much. Okay.
I'm glad.
Okay, next one is Chiao, and then she's a very unique artist in concept and execution of the technique. Could you please tell me when did you become a member, and then if you remember?
I really don't know. It's at least 5 years. It's more than that? I don't know. I feel so young. Well, I'll actually start with the one on top. This is how I originally started, with pieces of plywood covered in canvas for the three-dimensional quality. But what I do now is I cut figures out of foam core. And then I cut a canvas copy of the foam core. And I glue that on the foam core. And the buildings and surrounding area are in color, but the figures are always in white, delineated by a black pen. No, not a black pen. Black paint. I'm I'm sorry I don't have one of those here. This one here is actually a lark. I've never done anything like it, and I probably never will again. I had this sort of sketch of this crazy young woman, and after I completed the sketch on the painting, and I painted most of it in, I said, oh, I should have included the boots. And I said, it really is not unusual without the boots. So I made a new canvas, and I included the boots. And of course, when it was hung here, they hung it too high, so I made them lower it to get the effect of the walking. And the head is imposed as a collage. It's a separate piece, and it's glued on. And I don't even remember what the title was, something looking great. And then when I looked at it again, I said I should have named it, I should have entitled it, These Boots Were Made for Walking, which was a popular song some time ago. I think that's enough. Thank you very much.
So Eric Gros became a member of the War Salon last year, right?
Yes.
He's a photographer, as you can see. And how are you enjoying the membership?
I like it a lot. It's a great experience for like community and to meet people. I was showing my website to another another member, and then it comes to me that there's I was showing a picture of like the Sandy Storm, which I showed last year in the show, and it happens that there's another piece which is a window frame that is by another artist, also inspired by Sandy. Although like aesthetically they are very different looking, but like it's really amazing to sort of find out how they come from the same event and how they inspire like different artists from different culture to do something completely different, but like the origin of the inspiration, it's really sort of from the same source, and I guess it shows how diverse the WA Center members are, and it's a great way to meet people. Like we talk and we catch up, and she just look at my pictures and she knows exactly like where it is because she just lived on the block, and then we talk about the storm and how it was like a rebuilding process and all that.
Tell me about those photographs.
So these pictures are historically important in a certain sense because these are the 5 points, the graffiti maker and all the street artists, they aim at one day having one of their piece at 5 points is in Long Island City in Queens. So it's a really like one of the world's best place of like watching graffiti. I enjoy going like every weekend with my street artist friend just to hang out, and every time there's like new pieces up there. So it's almost like a gallery, but not in a convention sense. It's more like a less like someone created, but it's not in a tradition sense. And every summer they would do like the hip hop dancer. They would come together and do like 10-15 minutes of 10-15 times of graffiti dance. There would be 2 teams of 3 person, and the first team would go, and then the second, and they would go 3 rounds, and in the last round they all come challenge each other. And it's very sad that now the 5 points is gone, and they're like this is this like great piece of culture of Long Island City and New York, and there's no longer there. And the name 5 points means that the 5 boroughs of New York City all come together and into this sort of like maker and concentration and absolute diverse of like graffiti artists union almost. So yeah, everyone like graffiti artists, street artists, they look up there. They come from like everywhere in the world to try to get a murals to be, like leave a footprint. So yeah, it's the center of street art. Great, thank you so much.
So new artists welcome to the WA Center, and Carol Scavo. Yes, did I say all right? Scabato. Yeah. And so she became a new member this year, and then she has exhibited paperwork show in part 1. And her work is a very interesting, shall I say, illustration plus paperwork, or you can explain to us.
Well, this series started in June. I did a residency that I was working with paper, and they were very, very lightweight, quick sketches. And they've built from there and become much more involved with a collage. And the way they still start with a sketch of they're pretty much all women, but it's a lightweight kind of a feel of humorous things, of almost daily kind of things that we all deal with. This one's name is Waiting for My Date. So there's real whimsy to what they're doing. The fact that the borders are not confined until the work is finished. So I work on paper, they keep getting bigger and smaller and bigger and smaller and changing direction. When the work is finished is when I put the frame around it, so that my or the person's identity isn't contained by the frame beforehand. So I don't start with the frame of going, I have 10 inches across to do this work. The work is finished and then the framing is put around it.
Now, next one is a very unusual artist. She does many, many things. And so, Gloria Schuster. Yeah, Gloria Schuster. So, what is your main medium?
My main medium is glass. It doesn't matter what kind of glass. I don't usually blow. I prefer to work in fusing. This particular piece is a piece of fused glass, even though it looks like paper. It is based on screen printing. In this case, you use a screen like you would for regular screen printing, and instead of putting ink through the screen, you're putting glass powders through the screen. It is screened directly onto what is known as a kiln shelf, and then it is put in a kiln and fused together. It forms a sort of velvety texture when you look at it, but when you touch it, it's hard as a rock, or is it hard as glass? And if you get close, you can see that the brown layer is a little higher than the gray layer. And it just is a new thing for me. I try a lot of new things, and when I enjoy something, I repeat it.
What a character. Okay, Jennifer Fromage. And then she has 2 pieces here. She's been a member of the Salon ever since you brought your mother as a protective, as a protective guardian. Yeah, you are a very lovely daughter of your mother.
Yes.
Under unconditional love your mother had for you.
Absolutely.
So please tell me about your painting and how you are influenced by those images, and how would you like the Salon show?
Hi, thank you. Hi. Well, these paintings are the Mermaid. I guess I'm calling them the Lorelei series right now. It's my usual style, my character, who we don't have a better name for than the Jen character, and the Greep, the monster is the Greep. And in this one, she has found herself rather pleased that global warming has taken place and the sea levels have risen, so that New York City is up to her to do whatever she wants with. So she's pretty happy. And I thought about this when you see the city is getting excavated, like ancient Egypt or ancient Greek cities that they they find these statues that are underwater, and I've often wondered, well, what if they found the Statue of Liberty underwater? That would be insane. So here we go. That's what I did with that. And the other one is just going with the sort of, a Lorelei is a German evil mermaid, more or less. So in German culture, mermaids are considered to be bad luck, very evil, and if a sailor saw a mermaid, that's bad news for you, at least in European culture. So in this one, she's just lounging, waiting for her next victim, and the Greep is trying to warn everybody, beware of the siren. I used the word siren instead of Lorelei because most people don't know what a Lorelei is, so there you go. They know what a siren is. I work at, I'm the art teacher at New York Harbor School, which is a maritime trade school, and we've been working a lot with mythical sea creatures, so the mermaid keeps showing up in the work, and it's something I'm working with now. I'm really enjoying it. I'm loving the show. I think this is one of the best salons we've had, and I think this is great. Thanks for coming.
Next artist is Naoki Funayama. Funa means ship and Yama means mountain. So do we see mountain and ship? No, that's his own imagination. Quite interesting, unique artist. He is from Japan. He became a member last year. Yeah. Would you like to say something about your work? Are you enjoying the membership?
Sorry, I cannot use English very well. I'm usually paint dinosaurs because I like dinosaurs since my childhood. This mountain is Mount Fuji. My hometown there is Mount Fuji. So this mountain is familiar for me. Thank you so much.
Susan Handworker, and then she's a ceramist artist, and I found her from Bivouac Show, and she was giving the demonstrations.
That's right.
Yes, and she curated ceramic show there. So you became a new member this year. Well, welcome to the family, Ward family.
My pleasure.
Okay, so you can explain to us what this is about, and then how you enjoy the ceramic medium.
Okay. Well, these are actually very different from the point of view of time. This is a piece I did several years ago. It is made out of fired and glazed stoneware clay, and it's hand built, as are all my works. I come from a painting background originally, so you could probably tell that by looking at this piece. It is it's hand built clay and then fired, and then it is painted with glaze and underglaze and so forth with basically what is a landscape image on the figure. And she actually has two fronts. This is one front, and the other front is on the other side. Uses something of a different style of painting, and has some art historical references about it. It's and that piece is entitled Sulky, for obvious reasons, given the expression and the gesture. This piece is much newer. I made this piece just this past year, and it is made out of a white stoneware paper clay, which is it's clay mixed with paper pulp and then treated the way you would normally treat clay, and then it's also fired and glazed. And I call this piece. This is part of both of these are parts of different series. This one is part of my On the Pedestal series, which I'm still working on. This one is part of my Welcome series, in which I made figures that all had their hand out in this way. Most of them had two hands out, and that's why I named this one Sulky, because she only had the one hand out. And the reference is that some years ago, I would come home to a dark and empty house after work and wish that there was somebody there to welcome me home. So then I started to build my own welcome figures to help me out with that. So this is one of those.
This is Marjorie Applebaum. Welcome to a new member, the Salon. And she has exhibited paperwork show in part 1. And the most impressive works, there are so many most impressive ones, so it doesn't become too impressive afterward, but it is.
Yes.
And then how would you call your art, let's say?
What is it about? Okay, well this piece here the technique is mixed media, and it involves building what starts out using bookmaking materials, like a traditional Japanese bookmaking with specific boards that are used and linen that goes behind it. And then it begins to be approached as painting and sculpture. And all of my work is about some Greek mythology and imaginary women who live inside Greek urns. And the urn as a metaphor for the constraints that we all have in our lives, the things that hold us together and also keep us within. And you can see that this character, who is the character Aragon from Greek mythology, she was the daughter of, I believe it's pronounced Icaros, who was the helper to Dionysus, the maker of wine. And there's a very sad story that involves her, where her father, a group of townspeople come to where her father is making wine, and they drink all the wine, and are so drunk they are on the floor, on the ground, and the townspeople, where are our husbands, where are our men? And they come and find all of these men who are drunk but think that they have been poisoned and that they are dead. So they take the old man, the winemaker, and lynch him on a tree, up on a tree. And preceding that, the young daughter comes back, sees her father hanging, and in her grief, she hangs herself. And so and the townspeople come, the men wake up from their stupor, from their drunkenness, and see there are two bodies now that are hung on this tree, which they have all been sleeping under. And as the story goes, the townspeople are filled with remorse, and as their way of expressing their remorse to diagnose, I'm mispronouncing his name again, but anyway, to all of the Greek gods, right, that they honor her. There was a festival that was held in Aragon, yes, where young girls go out and they swing on swings to kind of, I don't know, to release her from her pain. But what is interesting, I mean, I see this is a contemporary, 21st century Aragon, who has not hung herself after finding her father dead. She's gone out and rebuilt her life, and she is on the swing now, swinging and being free. That her freedom and her sense of self is greater than being her father's daughter. That she has a greater purpose. And so that's kind of, and this piece,
very symbolic.
Yeah, they're all kind of, and they're all dealing about issues, women's issues, and actually just human issues.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's what this piece was about.
It's beautifully done and so precious. And then she did a huge piece before for the paperwork show.
Oh,
and
the
this
portrait
is
of war. Yeah.
Very nice one. And this is so precious and a very personal story too.
Yeah.
We can relate very, very nicely. Thank you very much, Marjorie.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Here is a final one. Thank you for waiting. Tasneem Shahzad, and he's from Pakistan, and he has been very, very helpful for taking photographs at the opening any other time. And he's very talented, not only printmaking, but also paintings as well as graphic designing. And how long have you been the member? Long time.
15 years.
15 years. Look at this. And he volunteers oftentimes. Thank you very much for your kindness.
Thank you.
So you can talk about your work there. Yeah.
This one is collage, screen printing and collage. I did paper. First I did some screen printing and then paper cutting and then pasting. This one is from my country, Pakistan. The title is Street. And the other painting, there's other painting, I show you. This one is also from Pakistan. This area is about 10,000 feet from sea level, and this area is very, very beautiful. I did this in wood block printing. There are 7 layers. I make 7 blocks and print step by step on paper. Its title is Thandiani. Thank you.
Here goes everybody. Welcome to the War Center. And then this is the team. And Alaina Nuehring. Nuehring? Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't pronounce. and then Richard Sanchez. And they are our assistants, shall I say. Yeah. And thank you very much for working hard for every time they come in. And how would you like how would you like working for the War Center? She's very new to us, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. She started from October, so new experience, and you get used to now. right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I like to think I'm used to it now. Yeah, working here is great. It's nice. This is the first show I've been in to see the full loop and how, like, going from submissions to getting the artists together, having Yuko curate it, and seeing the whole process. It's been great to see this finally come together at the show opening, and I'm lucky enough to get to work in all aspects of this, so it's great to see it come together tonight. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and Richard.
This is my 5th show that I've been here for, and this show is really great because it's so cool to see the fact that it's more of like a family for this show.
Richard started as an intern, and then he continued to stay with us. So I'm very much appreciating you for staying with us. And then usually we have assistants who are here with us as an intern, and Alaina is new to us. So it's a kind of new experiences, and sometimes maybe strenuous, but you got used to it a little bit better as you go. Yeah. And then I appreciate Terry, and I appreciate very, very much for your kind help, and then working hard every moment. And we welcome anytime if you wish to come back, you do that. Okay. Thank you.